Ambedkar on pathways of socialist economic development. Ambedkar was also a social reformer. He not only brought out the economic problems of the nation and its people, but also suggested and formulated ideas and strategies to curb it. Ambedkar believed that India's economic development should give prime importance to end exploitation, eradication of inequalities and poverty among the people. In this respect, Ambedkar shared Marx's views that exploitation exists in the world, where poor are exploited by the rich and masses are enslaved by the privileged minority, which leads to suffering and poverty. But Ambedkar did not believe in Marx's paradigm of development. Ambedkar's understanding of communism was different from that of Marx, which is articulated in his essay Buddhism and Communism. Unlike Marx, he believed that economic relationships are not the be-all and end-all of human life. He elaborated that it is not always economic motive that drives all forms of power in human activity. Rather, exploitation has many more dimensions that includes economic as well as social, political and religious. Ambedkar believed that communism involves revolutionary methods to overcome the dictatorship of the capitalists on the proletariat. But Ambedkar was against any form of violent methods and believed that Indian constitutional provisions and democratic means should be relied upon for the needed reformation. He championed human rights and democracy as the ideal social order. Unlike Marx, he did not believe that the abolition of private property would bring an end to poverty and suffering of the have-nots. Furthermore, he did not believe that eventually the state was going to wither away. Rather, he gave importance to the state apparatus. Ambedkar dreamt and believed in a classless society, but not in a stateless society. In his article States and Minorities, he argues that the state will remain as long as human society exists. He elaborated an obligation on the state to plan the economic life of the people online, which would lead to highest point of productivity without closing every avenue to private enterprise, and also provide for equitable distribution of wealth. Ambedkar believed in the active engagement of the government in economic development without succumbing to the Marxian view of totalitarianism and state monopoly. He was of the opinion that there should be state ownership of agricultural lands based on the tenets of democratic collectivism. The government should also have a limited control of industries. He believed in the idea of state socialism, where the economic development would be shared and looked after by the state. That would ensure demands of the poor strata be met by the industries, maintenance of productive resources by the state, and a just distribution of the common produce among the different people without any distinction of caste or creed. For him, state should have a well-defined role and intervene as necessary in economic matters of the country. But his overall idea of social reform to eradicate all forms of inequalities and marginalization stemmed from his critique of caste system. He believed that economic development of the Indian society and its common masses is only possible when the Indian society does away with the caste system. The root cause of economic stagnation, underdevelopment, poverty and inequality are the inherent characteristics of the caste system. If only the downtrodden masses of the Indian society who are mostly afflicted by the caste system could be pulled out of the iron grasp of the caste system and hence from their acute state of misery, then India could develop as it should. Therefore, according to him, in order to promote economic progress, India should eradicate caste system, and in this process the state and the constitution, based on the principles of democracy, should ensure distributive justice and follow an inclusive policy where the marginalized sections play an active role in society. The economic aspect of the caste system in India as understood by B.R. Ambedkar, who stressed that the caste system should be understood in economic terms, along with other terms such as social, religious and political. We also studied that the root cause of India's economic problems like unemployment, poverty and deprivation was interwoven in the caste system of the Hindu social order. Furthermore, we also dealt with alternative paths of development guided by the philosopher, social reformer and economist B.R. Ambedkar.